Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Here we are, Brussels, Belgium.
Yeah.
Say hi, Aidan.
Hi.
So we're in Brussels, and we're about to hop the train to Liege to begin our trip. Kind of busy here, but it's all good. The most enjoyable part of the trip so far was trying to get up the escalator with my bike. Good times.
Someone hasn't done it before.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining everybody. Mountain Bike Ben, New England Dirt. This is Aidan's and my adventure on the Ardennes Arbalete through Belgium. We had 5 great days of riding bikes, but unfortunately had 4 mechanicals, had a bunch of different weather, some misadventure along the way, but all in all, we had a great trip. And yeah, you're about to watch the whole entire thing unfold. I hope you enjoy.
Well, first snafu. Yesterday was Easter Sunday, and in Belgium, they celebrate the holiday on Monday. So the store that we were going to for our fuel and some food is closed on holiday. So we got to figure out where we're going. We're gonna push. In 2 days, we have another resupply spot that we can get some fuel canisters, and then we'll just restaurants, coffee shops between here and there. So yeah, off we go. We're in Liege. Cobblestones in Europe. What do you think, Aidan?
I'm enjoying it.
Here we go. Climb number 1. We were just down in that valley, and now we're cruising on this little bike path, which is pretty sweet. How you feeling, Aidan?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah? You psyched?
Oh, I am. I'm really enjoying it.
Let's go up that.
Yeah?
And just like that, we're off on a Belgian dirt road. Hello, pretty horses. More like a farm road. So first climb was a monster. Aidan, how did you describe it?
Made you feel like a tough bitch.
Yeah. to put it mildly.
Yeah.
But so that's where we came up, and that's where we started, all the way down there in the valley. A wall.
Yeah.
Sand's helmet. Well, we've been on this bike path for, I don't know, several miles. We found a dirt jump. All right, I don't know what town we're in, but we're coming up against an Easter parade. So Aidan, what are we at?
Some sort of fort. I think it's Belgian from the Second World War.
Looks like you got German on the bottom right. Oh, there's English right there.
English right there.
It's super windy, so you probably can't hear this, but the hits just keep on hitting. Okay, in most places, what we're riding on right now, at least in the States, would be considered private property. This is a public road, believe it or not. Say hi, Aidan.
Hi. It's not much of a road, though.
No,
Sorry to say.
no, I mean, this is fantastic. All right, carrying on.
So after several miles along the bike path and getting stopped with that Easter parade, which was super cool, Aidan and I were treated to this amazing downhill run. This is all public property. It was amazing to just have this long stretch where you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere in these farm fields that, you know, again, would be private property here in the States, but Again, just a beautiful extended downhill stretch of single track. And then we roll into the town of Limburg, I believe, Belgium, where we kind of stop and gather ourselves together, figure out where we're gonna stay for the night, because without any of our supplies and with rain coming in, we were kind of, up against it, without food, without, really any sort of shelter except for our tents. So we stopped for dinner, decided that we were gonna ride down to the Verviers, where we found a hotel, and the LG2R team was actually stayed there. It was a very posh hotel, more posh than what we actually should have been at. But the next day we were able to find a quick store and get some supplies and then get back on the route. We had about a 10 mile-ish ride, 15-kilometer ride back to the route. And that's where we'll pick back up now.
This little dog leg. Little dog leg here. We are in the middle of a climb and day 2. We figured out what was wrong with Aidan's brakes. There is a chunk of brake pad missing from one of the sides of pads. So never buying those pads ever again. And what's cool is that we're right across from this antique mini MG car shop. Aidan, how's the climb?
It's going good.
It kicks up a notch here.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's get it done.
Yeah.
We are entering the forest. Glad you got rear brake. Oh, Aidan. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Just got a little bit of mud in my mouth.
I don't even know if this is like, can cars go on this road, do you think?
I don't know. I would assume so I think we're in the national park at this point.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would assume that's kind of national park vehicles can go on it.
Okay. Horses obviously can go on it.
Yeah.
So we finally made it to the shelter we were supposed to be at last night. But obviously because of needing to fix Aidan's brakes and the rain last night, although this would have been good in the rain.
Yeah?
We would have been able to make this work. So now we actually start the official ride for the day, which is a climb up that. And who knows how far it goes. So we're like, I don't know, 600, almost 700 feet of elevation gain into this 4.5 mile climb. We've got 1.76 miles left. There's what it looks like. And there's what Aidan looks like. Never a good thing to get to a climb and come around the corner and see your son with a bike with its rear wheel out of the bike. Guess we'll see what's going on. So, diagnosis. For some reason, shape, or form, the rear wheel came out and the derailleur is now pretty much mangled. Cage is all bent out of shape. I bent the derailleur hanger back as much as I possibly could. But we're on our way to a bike shop at some point. Always expect the unexpected while you're bike packing. But at least, hey, at some point we're gonna look back on this moment and laugh about it, and yeah, we'll share good times over this one. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Good. All right, good. Well, we finished the climb, and I think Aidan's bike's okay, which is good. Little field maintenance, field repair. I still got it. But now we're treated to this amazing plateau that just goes on seemingly forever. Huh. That way looks rad.
It does.
That plateau is one of the most beautiful things I've seen on my bike in a long time. Well, we just finished up a phenomenal stop at the Peak Belgium brewery. There is a brewery on the actual route. Well, no, we're off route right now. We did a little skip in the route.
So as we wrap up day 2, we're treated again to another spectacular downhill. We found that what was happening is that the days would be climb out of a valley, ride along a ridgeline, drop back down into another valley, climb out of a valley, ride along a ridgeline, drop back down into another valley, and it became sort of the standard here every single day. But we're dropping down into our campsite for the night, which is this very cool spot called Camping du Moulin, and got ourselves a tiny little trailer for the night. Again, we were going to be greeted with a whole bunch of rain. This was a planned campground that we actually had set ourselves up for originally in the route planning that we had done. Bikepacking.com, the route for the Ardennes Arbalete, had this listed as a great place to stop. So we're pulling in. It's this cool little spot. We were originally going to tent, but like I said, we got a tiny little trailer because of the impending rain. So this was a cool little spot that Aidan and I were able to stay the night, have a warm meal, stay nice and cozy. And then the next day, we ended up going into Malmedy and then over to St. Vith for a scheduled stop.
We've got a wet start to the day. We knew we were gonna hit rain. We're good. Making the best of it. Smiles up, pedals down. Off to St. Vith. 22 plus miles. We're in good shape.
So as Aidan and I made our way into Malmedy, it was quite a sombering time due to these memorials. One here to the citizens of Malmedy who lost their lives during a bombardment. This was the cave they hid out in. And then also a memorial to the soldiers of the town who lost their lives during World War II. It was just quite the humbling experience and left us with our thoughts for the day.
All right, making our way out of Malmedy. That's a beautiful town. And back on the dirt.
So after leaving Malmedy, Aidan and I headed into the woods and were greeted with quite some sloppy conditions here after all the rain that had fallen the night before and the morning. And it quickly deteriorated Aidan's front brake, forcing us to do a field repair. After this long descent, we ended at this memorial here and replaced Aidan's front brake, but took a moment just to really let this sink in. As you can read in the sign, this is a place where they are honoring some U.S. soldiers who were murdered by German SS. And it was just experiences like this that, one, were super humbling, and two, just reminded you of how significant these areas were and the sacrifices that were made and just the strife that these countries went through. And it's just experiences that we've never had and will never experience. But after we gathered our thoughts, we climbed up and headed back into the woods.
I had to stop and show you the forest that we're currently riding through. It's I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Aidan's up ahead. And it just drops off.
And I think for both Aidan and I, getting back into the woods at this point was very therapeutic. And you can tell in my voice earlier that I was rather speechless being in these trees here in this forest. And I think it's because the day was so sombering, and the therapeutic nature of being back into the woods and allowing yourself the space to process what you had just seen and read through the various memorials was really beneficial for both of us. After dropping back down into this next valley, we were back up again and came past this crater, which was amazing. And Aidan, you can see him just up next to that tree in the one photo. And then back on the road where some more mud was greeted, and then down into St. Vith for the night. We then walked through St. Vith, got some dinner, stumbled into this courtyard. It was amazing how quiet was there for a Thursday night, I think this is, or maybe it's Wednesday night, I forget. But just super quiet, but what a cool courtyard this was. So day 4, we started with a great breakfast, and I found out that my friend Maggie had just won the Doom 2023 on a single speed, but then Aidan's derailleur broke. After just 5 miles, we turned around, went back to a bike shop to get it fixed, and decided to take it as a rest day. We drank a lot of beer, saw this weird car, drank some more beer, hung out at the pub. Yeah, it was a good rest day.
Well, we're on our way out of St. Vith after an impromptu rest day. Aidan's rear derailleur blew up on him as we were riding out of the city yesterday.
So after 4 mechanicals, we decided to call it quits in Belgium and get to the train in Gouvy to head to the Netherlands.
There's St. Vith. If you see that tower, cathedral tower, that's where we were staying. And now we're on this. And we're changing up plans a little bit. More details to come. Well, we are on our way to Gouvy.
Yeah, something like that.
To hop a train. And we're headed to the Netherlands.
Yeah, we go.
And we got a cold, frosty start to the day. I don't know if you can see it, but there is frost all over the ground. Slow pan. Oh, what a handsome young lad.
So after a beautiful ride into Gouvy, we got to the train station, we supplied ourselves with some snacks, hopped on the train for about an 8-hour plus long journey across 4 different trains from Belgium to the Netherlands. You know, you meet some really cool people on the train, especially when you're traveling by bike. But after a pretty substantial train ride and multiple stations, we made our way to Groningen, where we would start our next adventure, which if you're curious, I'll link the Netherlands bikepacking trip that we did in the show here. Thanks again for watching, really appreciate it. If you're curious, I do also have a podcast about these trips. You can find that at nedirt.com, and please let me know how you like this. Make a comment, subscribe, give it a like, and then reach out to me on Instagram or my email, ben@nedirt.com. Thanks again for watching, everybody.